Riders fans, penalty report for round 2. Actually, it's round 3 because round 2 was canceled, but it's going to be a makeup round in the end of February. And it's round 3. It's round 3. Here's the penalty report. Snapdragon Stadium, John Short. And reason for his violation is stopping on the track, so he loses his fastest lap time. Still makes the night show, however, loses his fastest lap time. Do you think that potentially there should be some other people added to this list? I kind of think so, but I want your opinion. These two knuckleheads, Jason Anderson and Justin Barcia, was a nice drift into the front wheel there. Could this have been a payback move from Indy of last year where Barcia takes out Jason for the lead? Interesting, though, you'll watch Barcia look back and he'll also raise his hand like, hey, I didn't mean to, sorry. Stay with me here, folks. So, fast forwarding to the main event, you've got Bam Bam Barcia taking a line out of Anderson's toolkit for taking out Sexton. But notice the mannerisms on Justin Barcia. Watch as he shakes his head and lifts his hand off the clutch to go, oh, sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to do that. Rewind to Indy of last year. Looks incredibly similar to him taking out Anderson. Shakes his head. Boom. So we have a repeat offender of what he does. Oops, I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry that I just keep taking people out. It's not my fault. I just was trying to block pass. My question that I'm asking the community is, when is it appropriate to put riders on probation and give them warnings? I just showed you the probation report that doesn't have those guys' name on it. We don't have Anderson. We don't have Barcia, right? Because being in 2023, you can't discipline one person and not the other because that's called favoritism. However, when a rider has a history of offenses and mannerisms, I say that this would have been a case where you can have that warning, where the race director's job is to keep riders safe. And Barcia's going to race hard. His racecraft and what he is good at is he's good at blocking people. He's good at riding a wide line. He's good at being aggressive. He's good at being in people's head mentally. Doesn't matter if you're Tomac, Anderson, Malcolm, Marv. He's going to race you hard. He's going to block you. He potentially is going to put you on the ground. That's his racecraft. There's nothing against him because that's just how he is formed as a rider, as a professional rider. You've got other guys like Kenny that is very smooth, that tries to stay out of the mix of all the craziness, right? If he makes a mistake, it's probably his fault. But I will say, if you're going to put riders on a spectrum or generalize or put them into a subcategory of riders that are more dangerous to ride around, well, Freeze would probably be at the top. Barcia may or may not be far behind him. And why do I say that? Well, if we're looking at what happened last night, you've got Ken Roczen and Justin Barcia racing the Dragon back, and Roczen made a clean pass. He could have easily done the same thing that Anderson and Barcia did to get around riders as far as blocking and putting them on the ground. But what Kenny also does is he moves from the inside to the inside of the next corner, squeezing off Barcia. However, what Barcia does is he ends up blocking Kenny in the next corner by trying to take the line away from him, forcing Kenny to either get taken out or slam on his brakes. Ray is a variable here where if he wasn't involved, Kenny might have been able to cut in a little bit lower and make the pass stick. But Barcia comes clearly from the inside to the outside to block Kenny, and Kenny is forced to almost jump off the track and ruin his night. So this is scare number one, where a rider like Kenny is going to go, oh, I need to keep it on two wheels. Potentially, I'm not going to get involved with Barcia because I need to make Suzuki look good, and I don't want to ruin my championship hopes here at round 2, 3, whatever, it's actually round 3. And so he checks up. and he loses a podium spot for that. Arguably, he was the faster rider. He just wasn't the aggressor in this instant, because what happens in the next corner? Barcia could have taken Kenny out, but watch Kenny. Kenny totally anticipates what's going to happen, so he looks over and he checks up. He doesn't cut low. He misses his rut, and he gives the position away back to Barcia. Just racing smart, right? My point being is, if Barcia was put with a warning, would this riding continue? Yeah, it makes for great racing. I'm with you. But you got to keep the other riders safe as well. However, Barcia, if he can just tone it down a bit by getting that warning, by getting that probation, he could still get that KTM, it's actually a gas, out front and potentially win some races. My question to the viewers, the community, is when is it too early to start putting riders on probation? Systematically, by having history involved with riders like Freeze and Barcia that you know are just more aggressive than another rider, do you look at them differently? Or because of the culture we're living in now, it even transfers to sports where you can't be unfair by pointing somebody out. So make sure you comment down below. We've got another live show planned for Thursday and Friday. Going to have another guest on board. But make sure that you stick around, you subscribe to the channel. It helps out a bunch. Hit that like button. I know I appreciate it, and more of you are doing so. Till next time, this is Johnny F. and Hopper. Keep it WFO. Barada.